the Jedi of Believe, and you're here again in the office of the Always Believe House. Oh, today we are going to start something that is going to transform you into adulthood. Ho, 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 ho. We're about to start systems of equations, and I guarantee you one of my students this year will have a job, probably more than one, will have a job that utilizes systems of equations in the process of doing the job. You may not use this form, but you're going to be using a computer that may run this, and you're going to have knowledge of this. This is one of the most important things you're learning in algebra is linear algebra. Lots of applications in real life world problems with this. So we're going to get rocking and rolling. Today we're going to learn how to do linear systems, which is two linear equations and where they intersect. This is what it's all about. And today we're going to learn how to find the solution by graphing. And it looks like y'all are kind of weak on the graphing, so this is going to help you out. And this, remember, when you graph, you're just counting the dots. So this should be a pretty simple lesson. Let me start recording. And 3, 2, 1, go. We are recording. So you have this paper in front of you. Let's write down y equal mx plus b. The first thing you want to do is solve every equation for y. Remember, m is your slope. And your slope tells you up or down over right. And b is your y-intercept, which in a word problem will start with the starting number. You start with the y-intercept, right? So your y-intercept, your starting number, that's where you start with. And then your slope tells you to go up or down and to the right, and you're going to make a series of dots across the graph. So let's look at number one. What we want to do on each of these is write down m and b. So my slope is -1/4, and my b is 3, right? Now then that slope means I'm going to go down and to the right, aren't I? Since it's a -1, that means I'm going to go down. The next one, I'm going to write down m and b down here. M is equal to -7/4, and b is equal to -3. This slope tells me to go down 7, right 4, doesn't it? So I'm going to do that process from both dots. If you can't go down, you may have to go up and go left, okay? We'll have to go backwards. So let's graph number one. The starting number, or the y-intercept, is 3 in it. You call the y-intercept the starting number because that's where you start with. In a word problem, you'll see that is the starting amount or the initial amount. Okay, so we're going to start off at the 3. I'm going to draw a dot, and now that I'm going to draw a series of dots across the page. My slope is -1/4. So from that dot that I just drew, not the origin, from the y-intercept, I'm going to go down 1, right 4. So count down 1, right 4, and draw another dot. Now then, get as many of these dots as you can on the page. So the opposite of down and to the right is up and to the left. So go up 1 and left 4. Notice your dots form a constant rate of change pattern. If you read them from left to right, you will get -1/4 all the time. Connect those dots with a line. And now then we're going to draw another line. If you do this correctly, do y'all see the 3 dots I have for my first line? One of those dots will be on the second line. The intersection point will be the solution. So now let's graph the second line. My starting number is -3. So I'm going to put a dot at -3. Now then my slope tells me to go down 7, right 4, but I can't go down because I'll be off the graph. So I'm going to go up 7 and left 4. So from this dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I get right here. Notice that this dot is shared in it. That's going to be the intersection point. I can't get another dot because I'll be off the graph, so I'm going to connect these 2 dots. The intersection point is what you're going to write down. So draw an arrow to it, and the intersection point is -4, 4. Now then, if we wanted to, we could plug -4, 4 in both equations and it would make them true. That would take a lot of time. But -4, 4 would work in both equations. That's the only ordered pair that will make those 2 equations work. Hence, it's the solution to the systems of equations. Let's do number 2. We're going to do 4 of these together. So remember, on all these problems, write down m equal b equal. M equal b equal. I want you to get the slope and y-intercept for every one of them. So the slope on the first one's 2, which would turn into 2 over 1, right? Which means I'm going to go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. Try to write your slope as a fraction, so you have the up and down number to the right number. Your y-intercept, or starting amount, or initial amount, is -4. Your next slope is going to be 1 over 3. And your next starting amount, or y-intercept, will be 1. So I have both of my slopes and both of my y-intercepts. Now that I'm going to graph the first one. So the y-intercept, or the starting amount, is -4. So I'm going to draw a dot at -4. Now then my slope tells me 2 over 1. So from the dot I just drew, I'm going to count up to, right 1. There is no math in this. You're just counting dots. Count up to, right 1, and draw as many of these dots as you can. One of these dots will be on the other line. Up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. So I have that many dots. I'm going to connect them with a line. Let me make it blue or like purple. Oh. Notice you can still see my dots. Draw your line real small so you can still see your dots. Now then, let's graph the next line. Okay, on the next line, I'm going to start off at 1. My y-intercept's 1. If you call it the starting number, that's where you start graphing a line at. That's why I call it the starting number. So our starting amount's 1, and then the slope is 1 over 3. So from that dot, I'm going to go up 1, right 3, and notice I get that dot again, don't I? That's going to be my answer. Go backwards, go down 1, left 3, connect the dots, and then circle this dot. That dot, the ordered pair would be 3, 2, would it? That's the solution. So what you're trying to do is graph 2 lines and find the solution. Oh, let's go to the next one. Ho, 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 ho. So much fun, 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 fun. Oh, just like eating an Oreo cookie. Oh. So on number 3, remember, we're going to write down m equal b equal twice. So m equal b equal, m equal b equal. Our first slope is -3. To make that a fraction, we're going to put -3 over 1, which means we're going to go down 3, right 1. The y-intercept, or the starting amount, is -4. The next slope is 3, which you would turn into 3 over 1, right? So we would go up 3, right 1, wouldn't we? And our starting amount is 2, or our y-intercept is 2. So you call the y-intercept the starting number because that's what you start with. On the first line, we're going to start with the -4. So on the y-axis, put a dot at the -4. Now then, from that dot, can I go down 3, right 1? I can. I'll be off the graph, so I'm going to go opposite. So I'll go up 3, left 1, up 3, left 1, up 3, left 1. Ho, 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 ho. Now then, connect these dots with a line. Wee doggy. Now then, one of those 4 dots will be on the next line. That's the purpose of doing this paper, so you can find the intersection point of 2 lines. So the next line, our starting amount is 2 with it. So I'm going to start at the 2, and my slope tells me to go up 3, right 1. I could do that once, can't I? I can't go up 3 again because I'll be off the graph, so I'm going to go backwards. I won't go up right, I'll go down left. So go down 3, left 1, that's the dot that works, doesn't it? Down 3, left 1 again, and connect those dots with a line. Draw an arrow to the intersection point, and that would be -1, -1, wouldn't it? Ho, 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 ho. Fun, 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 fun. Oh, this really isn't that hard because all you're doing is counting spaces. There's really no math in this. Just remember, get the slope, get the y-intercept, start with the y-intercept. That's why we call it the starting number. That's going to make sense in word problems. And just go from there. And then do the slope directions. So on number 4, okay, write down m equal b equal twice. So the first slope is 1 over 4, which means I'm going to go up 1, right 4, aren't I? Because it's positive. My y-intercept's 3. That's what I'm going to start with. The next slope is 7 over 4, and its y-intercept is -3. So I'm going to graph both of these lines. Oh, so the first y-intercept is 3. I'm going to put a dot at the 3. From that dot, I'm going to go up 1, right 4. Up 1, right 4, put a dot. I could go backwards. I could go down 1, left 4. So you start at the starting number, or the y-intercept, and you do the slope direction. The slope is When you graph an ordered pair, you go left or right, up or down. You don't do that with the slope. With the slope, you go up or down and to the right, or vice versa, okay? Now then, connect those dots with a line. Now then, one of those three dots will repeat on the next line. Let's do the next line. The next line, the starting amount's -3. So I'm going to put a dot at -3. From that dot, I will go up 7, right 4. So if I go up 7, right 4, boom, I'm right here. That's the repeating dot in it. So I'm going to connect those. I'm going to draw an arrow to that, and that is 4, 4 in it. Piece of cake. Now then, there's two special cases here. So write this down below the problem here so you can do the rest, because this may happen on this paper. What if the lines are parallel? So if you have parallel lines, will they ever intersect? Will they have an intersection point? They will not, will they? So the answer to that would be no solution. So if the two lines you draw are parallel, which means the slopes are the same, we just did lessons about that, right? If the slopes are the same and the y-intercepts are different, the lines are parallel, they will not cross, there's no solution. The other special case, let's say you graph this line, it does this. You graph the next line and it goes right on top of the first line. That means the lines are the same. So if the lines lie on top of each other, if they coincide, so write down coinciding lines. That's what it's called. Coinciding lines mean the lines are on top of each other. Then there's infinitely many solutions. It won't be all real numbers because only the points on that line work. Not every ordered pair will work. So infinitely many solutions would be how you would write down that answer. You're going to finish the rest of these up. I kind of gave you a lot of these, not an overwhelming amount, so you could get better at graphing the lines. The more you do this, it'll get quick. I promise it'll get quick. So just remember, graph the y-intercept, and then when you do the slope, you don't go left or right first. You go up or down and to the right or the left, depending on which way you can go. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Let me stop recording this. Okay. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Hope you have a great day today. Remember, you are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things. You are awesome. And always believe.